Alright, it's Mr. Bernay. We're going to review some of the frequently missed questions on the first inequalities quiz. The number that you see up here corresponds with the question number on your Galileo test. So this obviously is number 1. We won't go over all 12 because some of the questions were not frequently missed. Some of them a lot of you got right. So we'll only look at the ones that were frequently missed. So the ones that lots of you got wrong. Alright, so we're going to start with this one. What is the correct solution for the inequality? So the inequality is negative 13x is less than 65. So I'll show you how to solve this. This is a one-step inequality. And remember, with one-step inequalities, these are just like one-step equations. The only difference is that with inequalities, since I have an equal sign, you have an inequality here. And then also you have to remember that rule. If you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the symbol. So here, my x is being multiplied by negative 13. So the opposite of that is dividing by negative 13. So when I do that to both sides, what I get is x on this side, because those cancel out. And then over here I get negative 5. However, I divided by a negative here. So I have to follow my rule. If I divide or multiply by a negative when I'm doing these inequality problems, I must flip the symbol. So instead of x being less than, x is going to be greater than negative 5. So that's my answer, D. So you had to perform that one step, which was in this case to divide by negative 13. Since you divided by a negative, you had to flip the symbol.
Just a reminder that the Lighthouse team meeting will begin shortly in the LC.
Alright, this one's for number 2. This is also a one-step inequality. X minus 23 is less than 9. Okay, now our one step, x is being subtracted by 23, so we're going to do the opposite. We're going to add 23 to both sides. So we get 32 over here. X is less than 32. So that's our answer. We didn't have to flip any symbols because we were adding 23 to both sides. We didn't multiply or divide by anything. So we didn't have to flip the symbol. So that's our answer. X is less than 32. Just a one-step inequality. Alright, the next one, number 3. Negative 13x is greater than 78. Another one-step inequality. Again, we're dividing because x is being multiplied by negative 13 here. So the opposite of that is to divide by negative 13. Do that to both sides. Those cancel out. You get x on this side, and then negative 6 over here. You could use a calculator on this as well if you're still struggling with negative numbers, operations. You can put this into the calculator. Your calculator has a negative symbol. But here, when you're dividing by a negative, if one of the signs is negative, your whole thing is negative. If the signs are different, the answer is negative. If the signs are the same, the answer is positive. Alright, so since we divided by a negative here, we have to flip the symbol because that's the rule. So instead of x being greater than, x is going to be less than negative 6, which was A. Alright, so we're going to skip ahead to number 7. Now this one shows you a line graph. Which inequality is represented by the number line shown? So I see an open circle. First of all, I see that we're on negative 2, so that's the first thing I see. We're on negative 2 on the number line. And at the negative 2, we have an open circle. So that means, since it's an open circle, my answer is either going to be less than or greater than. Because negative 2 is not included in the set here. There's an open circle, there's a space there. So I know it has to be less than or greater than instead of less than equal to or greater than or equal to, because the circle's open and not closed. Now the numbers go to the left of negative 2, so that is less than. So whatever my answer is, I don't know what my answer is, I'm going to call it x. whatever my answer is, I know that that answer is less than -2. The graph says that. Whatever my answer is, wherever that x number is, it's this direction of -2. It's less than -2. X is less than -2. And that's your answer C. Again, x does not include -2. If this said x is less than or equal to -2, the circle should be filled in. But since it's open circle, it's x is less than -2. Alright, number 8. Which inequality is represented by the number line shown? Same type of question, except for this time, first of all, we're at 0 on the number line. This time the circle is shaded in. So that means my answer is either going to be less than or equal to or greater than equal to, since the number is shaded in on the number line. So whatever my answer is, x, I know that it could include 0 because it's filled in. So since the number line is going in this direction, since it's shaded in that direction, I know whatever my number is, x, has to be greater than, or could also be equal to 0 because 0 is shaded in on my number line. So that should be my answer. X is greater than or equal to 0. Same type of question for number 9. I see that I'm at -4 on the number line. I see that the circle is closed, so it has to be less than, equal to, or greater than equal to. And the shading is going to the left, so whatever my number is, x, I know that it has to be less than or equal to -4 because the shading goes to the left where the less than or smaller numbers are. It could also include -4, and that's why it's filled in. So my x, whatever number that is, the rule is that it has to be less than or equal to -4 according to this number line. So the answer is D for number 9. Number 10, another number line question. Okay, so this one is a little bit different because when I go to look for what number I'm on here, I don't see my number. There's a blank here. But when I look at the numbers, 0, -2, -4, -6, we're counting down by 2's. So the number that's in between -4 and -6 is -5. So even though it doesn't say -5 on that point, I know that that's what it is because that's the number that's in between -4 and -6. So we're looking for a number, x, -5. Our circle is closed, so I know that it's going to be less than or greater than. No equal signs because it's an open circle. Whatever the answer is, it doesn't include -5. And the shading includes all numbers to the right of that -5. So it's all numbers that are greater than -5. Whatever my answer is, it has to be on this side of the number line from -5. And it cannot include -5. So my answer is x is greater than -5. A. Alright, number 11. Now you're given 4 different line graphs, and you have to match the statement with the graph. So the statement says x is greater than 0.5. So automatically, since it's a greater than symbol, I know that the circle will be open. Open circle. Okay, because whatever the answer is, x, cannot include 0.5 because it's some number that's greater than 0.5. So automatically, since I know it's open circle, I can rule out B. I can rule out D because those have closed circles. Next thing I would look at is to see if the dot is on, or if the point on the graph is on 0.5. Yep, that's 0.5. It's between 0 and 1. And option C, that is also 0.5 because it's in between 0 and 1. Alright, next thing you look for is which direction the shading is facing. So whatever number our answer is, it has to be greater than -5. Sorry, whatever number our answer is, it has to be greater than 0.5. So the shading should go to the right. To the right. So this one is our answer. The shading goes to the right of 0.5. 0.5. A is our correct answer here. It's an open circle at 0.5, and the shading goes to the right. So that says x is greater than 0.5. So option A is our answer for number 11. Last one, number 12. So this is a little bit different. This is a two-step inequality now, so we have an extra step. Alright, so we're trying to get x by itself on one side. So we're going to start by getting rid of this plus 11 here. So we're going to do the opposite. We're going to subtract 11 from both sides to cancel those out over here. And rewrite everything else. So I subtracted 11 from both sides to cancel those out. 110 minus 11 is 99. And I have negative 11x on the other side. So my next step is to get x by itself. So since right now the x is being multiplied by negative 11, the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide each side by negative 11. So over here I get x, and over here you get negative 9. However, we need to remember our rule. When you're dealing with these inequalities, if you divide or multiply by a negative number, you must flip the symbol. So right now we have x is greater than, we're going to flip that to say x is less than negative 9. Again, the rule is if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip your symbol. So don't forget that step. So that is a two-step inequality. You had the first step was to subtract on both sides. Second step was to divide, and then you had to remember to flip the symbol. So our correct answer here is D.